Hybrid maps, assault maps, 2CP, no more ties. Well, I guess technically if no one ever touches a point, there could be a tie, but that's not exciting, so that's not what we're talking about. Hey everyone, my name is True, and this is a video about all the cool new changes, well, one of the cool new changes in the PTR affecting mostly 2CP, but technically anything that happens to have a point that you need to capture. So, you know, also hybrid maps, and that's it actually. But still, it's a rather cool change that will make these maps work significantly better, in my opinion. Essentially, the change is that you won't have to fully capture points in order to win anymore. On a fluid scale of 1 to 100 instead of, 33.3, 66.67, and then technically 99, but 100, which means essentially it'll have nothing to do with like the 3 checkpoints. And it'll simply just be the farthest you can get on the point. So yes, this means you could technically win if you hold their team off the point the entire time, and then you have a Sombra run back and back cap for, literally a tick. The game is going to be a little weird. It's going to feel a little weird because certain points you will have to play just incredibly far back in order to make sure the enemy team can't even touch the point half the time. Or they'll have to play on point consistently, or, et cetera, et cetera. On certain maps, Eichenwald, Volskaya, actually, now that I think about it, just about all of them except maybe Numbani will be incredibly hard to do that on. So the game is going to be interesting for sure. I personally love this change. I hope it makes it to live because it brings an entirely new way of playing the game. Slightly change the rules in a game mode and everything gets flipped turned upside down. It'll eventually make 2CP games a little quicker on average, which is good, and it'll make hybrid matches shorter on average if you hold the point or they hold you at the point, etc., etc. But on top of the shorter average matches, which will definitely be helpful, it'll drastically change strategies up for guarding certain points depending on enemy progression. So let's say you have 75% of the point. That's where you got to, it went down to 66.67, but you got to 75%. This would require you to play normal defense, more or less, because you could get back in time most of the time in order to make sure the enemy team doesn't cap point. But let's say you only capture maybe 15% of the way. Suddenly, you'll see yourself playing farther back, like so much farther back that you'll have to basically be on the point because, or at least someone will have to be on the point because, it's not in your best interest as a team to not do that. But unfortunately, it's not in the best interest as a defense team as far as we know in this particular meta and our knowledge of how to play Overwatch as a community to, hold on point. So it could totally change things up drastically in how we play certain types of games, how we play certain heroes, etc. Sure, we already have our hold comps that consist of crap like Mei, Tracer, maybe a Lucio, other various heroes that can stay alive for a long time. But when we resort to this, we generally don't expect to adhere to a comp because it doesn't last for very long. But in this scenario, we'd suddenly have to hold for a while, essentially on top of the point. I think we'll see a lot more Mercy play in scenarios like this, more Mei play, more defensive Tracer play, since instead of exclusively and constantly killing the enemy team in order for them not to touch points, we'd have to simply stay alive so the enemy literally can't sneak themselves on. And having said sneak, yes, this is further pushing the dive comp meta as well as possibly even a niche category type of meta that happens only during these particular scenarios where a team is built off of flankers or explicitly Sombra, Lucio, Tracer that can run on the outskirts of the map without enemies seeing them at all and then just jump on it if the team isn't watching carefully. If this patch goes through, and I hope it does, we will all have to change what we know about certain specialized metas and the game will become more varied. And this, ladies and mental gen, is what we all want. So I hope you like it too. If you liked the video, hit that like button, dislike the dislike, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.